Right now, one of the most painful realities of this brutal winter, how slips and falls have sent hundreds to hospitals all across Wisconsin.
And today marks 4 years since Tony Robinson was shot and killed in Madison. How friends and family are remembering him.
Plus, the man who hit and killed a Lake Mills Fire Department captain will not face drunk driving charges.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
You don't need us to tell you how tough this winter has been on all of us.
But for many people, this winter hasn't just been hard, it is downright dangerous. Amy Reed joins us now to show us how the inches of ice on sidewalks is hurting hundreds of Wisconsinites. Amy?
That's right. This winter, more than any in the last few years, has been marked with people slipping and falling on ice. And before you write this off, these are not gentle falls. In fact, you should probably know beforehand, there's at least one story here that might make you a little queasy. When walking door to door is part of your job,
yeah, take it slow.
The quality of the sidewalks matters.
So this side of the sidewalk's really nice. I don't know if they salted it well or what.
Lucky for Ryan Genson, this Sun Prairie neighborhood is doing a good job, for the most part. But the rest of Wisconsin is skating on, well, thick ice.
I had a patch of black ice I didn't see. It was dark out. We usually knock until around 7-ish. I ended up slipping and falling, landed like on my side into a big pile of snow.
He insists he's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
But others haven't been.
Some people come in by ambulance after a slip and fall episode in quite a bit of pain with a bad fracture, yep.
Eric Snell said he's seen about double the slip and fall incidents he normally checks out at the ER. At one point this winter, he said 9 out of the 10 rooms here were taken up by people nursing an injury from a fall, and some can be pretty brutal.
I saw a fairly severe open, meaning the bones are going through the skin, ankle fracture, where the ankle is actually almost at like a 90-degree or right angle with the lower leg from a slip and fall injury.
The solution feels simple, and it's backed up by city ordinances. Homeowners should clear their sidewalks. But the guy who manages this covered walkway said this winter's ice-snow combo hasn't made it so easy.
Trying to chop the ice out with an ice chopper, shovel, snow thrower, and I mean you can make little dents in it, but it doesn't get rid of it. And then you throw salt down, but then it freezes the next day, so it's like a never-ending story.
So if your neighborhood sidewalks look like this, doctors say the Penguin Walk or just staying inside is your best bet, at least until winter's ugly, icy, overstaying its welcome head goes back where it came from.
I am looking forward to summer like crazy.
Aren't we all? We are not entirely helpless with this ice here. The city of Madison has sand on some of its major corners that you can take and put down for grip, but really until this melts, we all just need to be careful.
Very careful. Amy, thank you.
All right, after a seasonable winter day across southern Wisconsin, we could be looking at a little bit of a warm-up in the coming days for the rest of the week. Meteorologist Dana Fulton with your first alert weather. Dana?
Yes, today overall not too bad if it were January and not March. We should have been in the upper 30s, landing in the mid 20s. So with that sunshine, though, it really wasn't too bad outside. 24-hour high for the day. We started off at 2 early this morning. That's as low as we dropped. Right now it's about 17 in Madison with our wind chill closer to 8. Those wind chills still in the single digits for us throughout much of southern Wisconsin. It feels about 8 in Madison again. 5 in Mineral Point and 7 in Janesville right now. That breeze, and it'll stay anywhere from 8 to 15 miles per hour for us overnight. Won't pick up too much. You might notice it early in the morning as our temperatures will fall back down to the single digits again. We'll start the day close to 4, and then by tomorrow afternoon, we'll be back in the mid-20s. Plan on a repeat performance of today, but a little more tolerable temperatures are in the forecast for the end of the week. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for Friday and Saturday in just a few minutes.
Dana, thank you. 4 years ago today, Tony Robinson was shot and killed by a Madison police officer.
Tonight, Tony's friends and family are remembering him and continuing to look for change when it comes to police reform. Photojournalist Corey Ferris has more.
Tony Robinson! Tony Robinson! Tony Robinson! Tony Robinson!
The community that is here to support Tony Robinson and to oppose police brutality wants to see Matt Kenny fired.
Tony Robinson!
for the anniversary of my nephew Tony Robinson's death. I've seen the community change, where we look more towards the community for action, for reform, for handling our own issues. We're also here to hopefully make a stir in the people, convince them to go out, vote, and let them know how important they are in receiving justice and seeing the change that we hope to see.
One of the most beautiful progressions is getting to see Tony Robinson's younger siblings growing up in this protest movement, to see them growing into young adults who are able to still find joy and find some of their truest joy in a community like this that makes it safe to mourn and to acknowledge the real roots of their grief.
The decision not to charge the officer resulted in protest in Madison, and 2 years after the shooting, Robinson's family settled a wrongful death lawsuit with the city for more than $3 million. That settlement was the largest of its kind in state history.
The man accused of killing a Lake Mills Fire Department captain will not face drunk driving charges. Court records filed today show 28-year-old Samuel Kremers is now facing a charge for knowingly operating while suspended, causing death, which is a felony. He was facing a tentative charge of homicide by intoxicated use of a motor vehicle. However, his lawyer said he blew a .079 during a breathalyzer just below Wisconsin's legal limit to drive. Kremers is accused of killing fire captain Christopher Truman, who had stopped along the Beltline to help another motorist. Kremers will be in court tomorrow for his initial appearance.
Fitchburg police are looking for a suspect after a woman was assaulted in the Princeton Club parking lot. Police say a woman said a man followed her after she exited the gym off McKee Road around 8 o'clock last night. When she opened her car door, the man pushed her into the car and punched her multiple times. The victim said she started to scream and the suspect ran away.
We will be checking with surveillance video around that area. We're going to be adding extra patrols in the area as well, around all of our health clubs in the area.
Police say the suspect is described as a black man, about 18 to 24 years old, 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, with a stocky or muscular build and short hair. If you have any information, you are asked to call the Fitchburg Police Department.
A Sauk County board member has now resigned his position after more than 20 years on the same day that he made an initial court appearance on child pornography possession charges. William Wenzel appeared in Sauk County Court after being charged last week with 5 felony counts of child porn possession. Sauk County Judge Patricia Barrett granted Wenzel a $5,000 bond. He had served the Sauk County Board since 1997. He's due back in court April 17th.
R. Kelly's day began with an explosive and emotional interview on CBS this morning, and it is ending in a Cook County jail cell. The singer was already facing aggravated sex abuse charges, and now he's in trouble for failing to pay $161,000 in child support. The mother of Joycelyn Savage, who lives with Kelly, said the interview left her unnerved.
What I saw on TV this morning about his way he acted when he got upset, I can only imagine what he does behind closed doors.
Kelly is due back in court on March 13th. More of Gayle King's exclusive interview will be aired on CBS This Morning tomorrow, and CBS News will present a special The Gayle King Interview with R. Kelly on Friday.
Longtime Jeopardy game show host Alex Trebek announced earlier this afternoon that he is in the battle of his life.
This week, I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, normally, the prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to keep working.
The American Cancer Society says pancreatic cancer is the 3rd leading cause of cancer-related death in the United States, killing more people than breast cancer. Trebek said he was aware of the low survival rates, but he said in a lighter tone that he still has 3 years left on his contract.
A Rock County resident is calling out the Milton School District following an investigation on stipends given to administrators. The district has launched its own investigation into the actions to determine whether the stipends were issued legally. Today, in the Janesville Gazette, Milton resident Chuck Jackson took out a half-page ad criticizing the way the district has handled all of this. He says he's trying to draw attention to something he feels the district has tried to cover up.
There's a high level of non-disclosure, secrecy, if you want to use that word, which is probably correct, which is what happened with these stipend payments. It was done in secret. It wasn't disclosed. It was only after it was exposed that people started to admit that these were the actions that they had.
The district says it will reveal the findings of the investigation tomorrow night at a closed-door school board meeting.
City of Madison will pay for security at an apartment complex on the far west side. The Madison City Council approved a $145,000 for security. This was at Tree Lane Apartments. That's $20,000 less than what was originally proposed. That money will staff the 45-unit building around the clock with at least one person trained in trauma-informed practices and conflict de-escalation. Police have been called to the Tree Lane Apartments hundreds of times since it opened last summer for gunshots, fights, and other disturbances. The extra worker will help support security staff already working there.
Governor Evers is proposing $30 million in state funding for the redevelopment of the Alliant Energy Center. The $90 million expansion will convert the exhibition hall into a full-service convention center. The project could take many years to complete. The Alliant Energy Center hosts a variety of events, including the Dane County Fair and the World Dairy Expo. But the governor says the many venue users have grown out of the current space.
Many of the prospective users are opting out for other venues with that have adequate space and amenities located outside of the state of Wisconsin. We have to stop that trend.
Evers is including the state funding in his capital budget proposal. He says the project is expected to create hundreds of new jobs and generate $25 million in income taxes over the next 20 years.
The Wisconsin National Guard has decided an Illinois congressman who serves as a Guard member did nothing wrong when he criticized Governor Evers' decision to withdraw troops from the U.S. southern border. Republican Representative Adam Kinzinger blasted the governor last week for ordering Guard troops to leave Arizona. Guard spokesman Joe Travato said last week the Guard and Evers' office were looking into whether Kinzinger's remarks warranted military punishment. State law prohibits commissioned officers from criticizing their leaders. The Guard's legal team had completed the review and found that Kinzinger was speaking as a congressman, not an officer. A Middleton cancer support nonprofit will hold a reopening celebration on March 14th after flooding last summer devastated the facility. Gilda's Club of Madison was flooded with more than 500,000 gallons of water, experienced $1.2 million in damage. More than 600 donations helped the organization meet its $100,000 flood insurance deductible. The organization resumed programming in its restored building on Monday, but a formal celebration will be held next Thursday, the 14th, starting at 4:30 p.m. Ahead on News 3 Now at 10, a former Green Bay fullback announces he will retire a Packer. We'll tell you who it is.
And a beer battle in Bruce City. Why one bar owner is pouring beer down the drain.
Former Green Bay Packer fullback has announced he will retire in green and gold.
John Kuhn played for the Packers for 9 seasons from 2007 to 2015. After playing with Green Bay, he played with the New Orleans Saints, but was out of football this past season. He played in the second most regular season games in team history among running backs, behind only former fullback William Henderson. A beer battle that began with a Super Bowl commercial is going strong in Milwaukee. Bud Light launched an ad campaign pointing out other beers like Miller Lite uses corn syrup in the brewing process. It's a bit misleading. The company doesn't use the unpopular high fructose corn syrup, and their process isn't much different than Bud's, but the battle was on. Some in the Miller town of Milwaukee took offense to those ads. Now Casey Foltz, owner of Puddler's Hall, is doing something about it. He recently posted video of his staff pouring all their Bud Light down the well drain and said he won't sell any Budweiser until Bud backs off.
If they came back and apologized to the city and took the billboards down, then maybe I'd consider, bringing it back. But right now, no plans.
The beer companies recently teamed up to start a campaign to encourage people to drink more beer, but Miller pulled out of that recent meeting.
All right, Dana joins us now as we look at the forecast, and still under what we expect temperature-wise this time of year, but even 20s feels a little better than, wind chill factors and that kind of stuff.
Yes. So relatively speaking, we're in an okay spot compared to where we were at a few days ago, but by the end of the week, things are going to improve. The good news, though, we did have a very nice sunset tonight. It's a view from Mariners Inn, Lake Mendota, sunset beautiful. We had just a few clouds in the sky, so enough to give us just a little bit of color. Not too much, though, of course, to block out the sunset. Our Doppler track is calm for us this evening. Looking ahead to tomorrow night, we may be looking at the slight chance for a few flurries, but overall through this evening and for most of tomorrow, things will stay pretty quiet. That low pressure off in the plains is going to slide southeast, and as it does move through, we're expecting rain and snow throughout much of the Midwest. Wisconsin, though, right on the edge of that snowfall, so that's why we're expecting the flurry chance really for the state line heading into Thursday night. That trough to the northern edge of the state, as it drops southeast, we're actually going to see some flurries over towards Michigan, but nothing really expected for us. Wind chills early in the morning, still 0 to -10, so still a cold start to the day. But overall, we're not really expecting that chill to stay around with us. Things are going to continue to improve with our temperatures and with our wind chills in the afternoon. It'll feel like we are in the teens for Thursday afternoon. Overnight, we fall to the single digits again to start off the day, about 4 early on in Madison. We're expecting temperatures in the upper single digits for us along the state line by Thursday afternoon in the mid-20s. So really similar to today outside, almost a repeat performance from Mother Nature. That flurry chance is just overnight on Thursday. By early Friday morning, no more snowfall, but a variably cloudy to mostly cloudy sky expected. Temperatures Friday afternoon will be pretty close to average in the mid-30s for our afternoon highs, and then our next weather maker creeps back in as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Now, Saturday, if the precip starts a little earlier on in the afternoon, we may see a few snowflakes before everything transitions quickly over to rain. We'll see showers throughout the afternoon, maybe even some heavy rainfall at times. Certainly not good news as we still have quite a bit of snow on the ground. It's not going to have any opportunity to melt and clear out a little bit before this rain comes into the area. By Sunday morning, though, we start to transition with some mixed precipitation, maybe even some freezing drizzle before all snowfall comes through on Sunday, and that snow slides out of there later on in the day, gradually ending for us in the afternoon. Rainfall total still hovering just under an inch, but that's enough that we could be definitely dealing with some isolated flooding concerns. Again, storm drain still a little blocked for us right now for some areas. Our snow won't be coming in much either, but anywhere from 1 to 2 inches likely around the Madison area. Again, that's really throughout the morning on Sunday that snow will be coming through. So alert days in the forecast for Saturday and Sunday, as that rainfall could lead to some ice concerns. And then heading into Sunday, that ice underneath any additional snow certainly won't be easy to clean up. It could make the roads a little messy for us on Sunday, too. Overnight lows will be in the single digits. Bitterly cold outside, but tomorrow only very cold. A little bit of an improvement. Mid-20s for our afternoon highs. Again, similar to today, but not nearly as bad as where we're at to start off the week. We'll be a little warmer for Friday in the mid-30s, and we do have those alert days just for Saturday and Sunday. Concern still isolated flooding on Saturday. I know my street is still just blocked up with snow right now. Could see just some ponding even on some sidewalk areas, and then for Sunday the roads are getting just a little slick as we have that mixed precipitation coming through. But temperatures into next week stay fairly tolerable, moderate. We're not going to drop back down anytime soon. Even our long-range forecast for the rest of the month are really trending in a good direction right now.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
We're getting into that messy part of the season.
Yes, where
but
we're
ready for it.
Hover back and forth.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta
it could
get
get a little
over this
warmer.
ice.
We could take a little messy heat, and we'll be fine.
All right.
there.
Thank you.
Badger women's basketball team takes a good first step at the Big Ten tournament down in Indianapolis. Story coming up in sports.
The goal at any tournament is to survive and advance, and that's what the Badger women's basketball team did against Penn State in the Big Ten tournament in Indianapolis today. Jonathan Sippis's team was the 13th seed, Penn State the 12th. The Badgers almost blew a 12-point lead in the second half, but freshman Imani Lewis got through foul trouble and had 17 points and 9 rebounds. This and one put Wisconsin up 7. Then some senior leadership by Marcia Howard, who had a big day too. 15 points, 14 rebounds for Howard. Final is Wisconsin 67, Penn State 57. Quick turnaround to play Ohio State tomorrow afternoon, but that's okay with Sippis.
Yeah, I can rest in April and May. You know, the chance that we're playing and get to continue again, play another team, a great team in Ohio State. Our kids are excited about it.
65-57 Wisconsin, now 14-17 on the season. They'll face the 5th seed Ohio State in the second round tomorrow. That one will tip at approximately 1:30 Madison time in Indianapolis. Tomorrow is senior night when the Wisconsin men's basketball team plays Iowa at the Kohl Center at 6. Charles Thomas, Khalil Iverson, and Ethan Happ will play at home for the last time. They'll be honored before the game. Hap has over 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 400 assists in his career. He's enjoyed and appreciated his 5 years at Wisconsin.
Just having the knowledge that I spent, a long time here in Madison and a lot of games on this court, and there's a lot of games that we wish we could have won that we left out there, but, I had such a good time throughout all of it, and I can't really say that I have too many regrets. I'm going to miss it, obviously, but I can say that I had a full, complete career here, and I'm proud of everything that me and my teammates have done.
Men's basketball tonight. Marquette was all set to tie for first in the Big East, but Seton Hall messed it up. Miles Powell had 34 for the Pirates, who scored 12 straight to turn the game around in the final minutes. Final score, Seton Hall 74, Marquette's 73, Marquette 64. Villanova leads Marquette by 1 game with 1 game to play atop the Big East. Tomorrow, the WIA State Girls Basketball Tournament begins at the Resch Center in Green Bay, and the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers could join some elite company in Division II. They're trying to become only the 5th team to win 3 straight state championships. Beaver Dam is ranked 10th as the high school team in the country. They know everyone's gunning for them.
It's been unreal because, so many teams get knocked off so quickly. To the fact we've made it to state the past 3 years and won it twice is something some people only dream of.
Just their mentality of we have to get work done, let's get it done, and then just their family effort that they really feel that they're part of a family.
Beaver Dam plays Hortonville in the Division II semifinals Friday afternoon. There are 6 local teams at state this year. Tomorrow, defending Division III champion Marshall plays the first game of the tournament. That's tomorrow afternoon, 1:35 against Gale Ettrick Trempolo. And the Brewers play the Arizona Diamondbacks this afternoon, and Josh Hader is picking up right where he left off last year as one of baseball's most dominant pitchers. So far this spring, he's pitched 2 innings, faced 6 batters. He's struck out all 6. Brewers 5, Diamondbacks 4, and we'll be right back.
Dana's here with the final check.
So we're looking at temperatures overnight in the single digits again tomorrow, very similar to today, in the mid-20s for afternoon highs. But by Friday, we're in the mid-30s, and this weekend, temperatures get much better. Unfortunately, that comes along with some rain and snow for us with alert days in the forecast for both days.
Thanks for joining us.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.